Hi everybody. I'm going to use today it's going to be a little bit of a dual purpose kind of video. Yesterday I had done a completed video of the look that I achieved with two of the other gift sets that I had gotten from Profusion, and I wanted to actually show you how it works because I was so impressed with these that I know I'm going to be using it a lot. So I figured I would talk to you a little bit today about some other things that are going on, but at the same time I would show you the application of the Profusion kits so that you can really appreciate it if in fact you do. I mean, for me, I was really surprised. Frankly, I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. So here we go. That was just my Peter Thomas Roth, as I always do, my water drench. And you know how much I love that. That's an absolute must for me. What I'm going to do at that point is just take my Laura Mercier, and that is the oil-free tinted moisturizer. Mine is in the color Blush. Clearly yours would be whatever color is closest to your skin color. Oops. I got way too much on the thing. I'm just going to apply a little bit of it and just kind of I'm going to do a simple. I have the worst light today because it's another disgusting, dismal day here. However, I'm not going to complain because it was raining this morning. Dogs didn't want to go out. That is a problem because when they don't want to go, I always worry because when you gotta go, you gotta go. But ultimately they did. I couldn't find their raincoats, so that made it harder for me to get them out or encourage them to go out the door. So yesterday, before I do that, let me show you those kits again. This is the Profusion 5-color face palette. This is the one that I did yesterday that I absolutely loved. This is it. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Just gave my face a glow. My neighbor, when she came to take me to the doctor, said to me, "You look beautiful today." She said, "What did you do?" And this is what I had done. This is what I had used. And this is the Profusion 7-shade multi-finish eyeshadow palette with an eyeshadow primer and a liquid liner. I'm madly in love with this eyeshadow palette. Never thought it would happen. Go no. This is what it looks like. Getting harder for me to open certain things. I need an assist. So I'm using a pen. There we go. Look at these colors. I think they're gorgeous. I really think they're gorgeous. Let's see. Oh, sure. Anybody who wants me to read that, good luck. Let's see. No, it's not telling me the colors, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful kit. I'm loving it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, all right, I'm going to do my Hoola, my Benefit Hoola, which I know I desperately have to replace, but it is what it is for now. And I'm just going to define those cheekbones a little bit. And once again, here we go, just to give it that little bit of definition, and then bring it up here to give me a little bit of color at the hairline and a tiny bit of definition on the sides of my nose. And I'll define that a little bit more later if I think I need it, and we'll see. So I got that appointment with the doctor yesterday. This was interesting because it's a doctor I had been to 3.5 years ago. And when I had gone, I liked him a lot, but it was really hard to get in touch with him, hard to get past the front desk. So I thought I would talk to him about that and see if that could be resolved. And if so, then I definitely would want to give him another chance. So originally they were going to give me an appointment as if I were a new client. I am going to first use this color just for a little bit of contouring. And once again, just to kind of bring it up that way. And then I'm going to take this peachy color for my cheek color. It's a warm color. It's not so pigmented that you get that clown or that little dolly look. So I really like the look that you get. When I originally called to make the appointment, they told me they were treating me like a new patient and that I would have to come in on December 4th. That was the first day they could give me. And I said, you've got to be kidding. I said, the problem is I don't feel well now. So to have to wait until then is going to be very difficult. They called me back a couple of hours later and they said they told them I had been in there before and that they gave me the appointment on Monday, which was wonderful. So I was really happy about that. Again, I haven't been feeling well. I didn't know, is it the medication I'm taking for my blood pressure? Is it just the way I'm feeling? That other doctor that I went to once and will never go to again had said, or her office said, that now this is the Profusion eyeshadow primer. I haven't used this before, so this is a first. Just a little bit on the brush and we'll see how it performs. I usually like my Urban Decay for that. So let's see. It feels like there's nothing in there. I don't know if it just has to be mixed up. Okay. I'll let that dry off a minute before I put any of the eye makeup on it. And what I'm going to do in the meanwhile is I'm going to deal with those bags that look majorly like suitcases. So what I started to do recently was I used a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is an old one that's really dried out, just a tiny bit, just right in the darkest part of that. And with my finger, I'll just work it in. Just to try to neutralize it a little bit before I put on the other one that I so love. So it was about 3 o'clock when I left the house yesterday because we didn't know how long we were going to get stuck in traffic. This is the Born This Way, the multi-use sculpting concealer. And this is my go-to every day. I love it. All right, so I'm just going to put a few dots of this. And I told you when I got in the car, the first thing that Nikki said to me was, "You look beautiful. What did you do?" or something like that. Or this makeup look for me, it really, really looks super. It just makes it doesn't look. Oh, I stuck that right in my eye. That was wonderful. That was not smart. Right directly in my eye. So we started out and we had a really nice chat. And I just love her. She's such a wonderful person, and we've really had a lot of time to kind of get to know each other so much better. Recently, it's been quite wonderful for me because I just love her as a person. What did I do with my son of a gun? What did I do with it? I cannot find. What is this? Translucent powder. I don't know. Oh, it's right under my cup. My myriad translucent powder. And I love this. And this is just to take the sheen out of that under eye area, and so that it won't move. So we got to the doctor. We didn't have a whole heck of a lot of traffic. It was a holiday yesterday, so the traffic was in fact pretty good. And we got there and we couldn't park the car right away. It's a little bit difficult to park in that parking lot. I think it may be easier for me when I get my hang tag for the car, the handicap parking sticker hang tag, because I think it's going to make it easier for me. There are only a few of those spots, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't, but I'm hoping that it does, because the way their parking lot is structured, they have a small part of it on the top level where the office is, and the rest of it is down a steep hill and under the building. So I don't like parking under there anyway, because what you have under there is you have a pillar and then 2 spots, and then a pillar and 2 spots, and so on and so on. The problem is there's either a pillar on your left or a pillar on your right, and the spots are pretty tight. So you have to be really super careful getting in and out. And then there's the dealing with getting upstairs. Now, they may have an elevator down there, I'm not sure, but I never used one because I used to be able to walk. I am now using the highlighter and just giving that little bit of highlight. It's again, it's a subtle kind of look. Now, I like to do a little bit of light in the center of my forehead and Cupid's bow, and a little bit down here because of my, as my dentist always said, inferior chin. So there we go. That's the basic for that. When I got there, she was sitting outside waiting to find a parking space, or she told me she was going to wait near the handicap parking if she couldn't park, and she would just wait outside for me. When I walked into the building, I thought I remembered where the office was, but I hadn't been there in a long time, so I wasn't 100% sure. So I went in, and the door was directly on the left as I got in the building, and that was wonderful. The problem was when I opened the door, it was dark in the room, and I thought I opened a closet by accident, so I immediately walked out, went into the lobby, and thought I had totally forgotten where his office was. A woman came into the hallway at that point. She was helping somebody else look for another doctor's office, and ultimately asked me if she could help me. I am using this for my base, and I asked her where his office was, this doctor, and she pointed me to where I had just been, and I said, it can't be. I said, that looks like a closet. It's dark in there. Well, it turns out they had been doing some construction on the outside of the building, and all the lights went out. So they went out shortly before I got there, and I was sitting in the waiting room with a bunch of other people, and the only light in the room were little bits of light from everybody's cell phone. It was really funny. And I said to myself, I wonder if I should take this as an omen. There's no light. This is not a good thing. So I sat down, and the lights came on a few minutes later, and I sat and waited, and wasn't all that long before they took me in. I just want to show you this because, let's see, I'll use this for it. I'm going to use this one. Oh, I love this. I love it. Let me show you how it looks. It's not in your face, but it really, really has a nice impact. So they called me in and they weighed me. I actually gained 2 pounds, and I'm thinking I really probably should be careful because I wound up losing a lot of weight, not in a way I would have chosen for myself or for any of you, for anybody for that matter. But and I'm just going into the V now with a little darker color. They then, oh dear, maybe I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. That looks terrible. Let me fix that. Okay. So they did an EKG, and the new EKG that they did is amazing. You don't even hear it. It's amazing. It's so quiet. She just said to me, try not to move. And she didn't even have to attach leads to my legs. It was only my torso, and that kind of surprised me. But it was all good. Then she drew a lot of blood because he wanted to do a whole blood profile to see what was going on, to see if there was anything going on, maybe with my thyroid, or if my white blood count was off, which the other doctor's office had suggested was what was going on. And he did a urinalysis. He did, what else? He said he was checking for vitamin D deficiency and B complex B12. I don't know if that came back right away. He called me first thing this morning. He already had blood results, and he called me first thing this morning. And what he had told me was that he always calls the patients himself. He does not let an assistant do it. He doesn't have anybody else do it. He does it himself. And he said to me, and if you call me, he said, I may not be able to talk to you right then. I may not be able to get back to you within an hour, though I try. He said, but if I don't, I will get back to you before I leave the office that day. So you will be able to talk to me. So that was good to hear, because the other doctor who chose to charge that astronomical amount of money did no such thing. And I felt did little of anything else. Okay, I still didn't do my transition, and I typically do that earlier. I'm going with this color for the transition. It's a little bit on the warmer side. So let's get this done. I think it gives a really nice, the whole thing is a nice warm look. I'm doing a really sloppy job today. I think part of it is because the lighting in here is so horrific, and part of it is because I'm trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. So that's not working out too terribly well. I'm going to add a little of this raspberry kind of color in here today. I didn't do that yesterday. And again, I'm just going to blend it out. So he examined me. He looked at the wound, which he said was really good. He said it was dry. There was nothing coming out of it. All it needed was a Band-Aid. It would probably take just a little while longer to heal. And when I said to him, I just don't feel well, he said, look, you may be anemic. You may have other issues, maybe thyroid, maybe something else, and we can check that. He said, but if there's nothing else, he said, just what your body has been through, you have been through hell. He said, your body has really been through a lot, and it just may take time. And that's hard for me, because I'm so tired of feeling tired. I'm so tired of feeling sick and tired that it makes it hard for me. But I really do feel as if I have a doctor at this point who is going to monitor the whole person and put all of the pieces of it together. He said the only issues I had in the blood test, he said they're not going to be unknown to you. My triglycerides and my cholesterol were high. My HDL cholesterol was good, but the LDL cholesterol was too high. So on that note, he told me to try to take my, I think it's a torvastatin, something like that. But if I'm butchering it, sorry about that. But that's what he told me to do, and he said that he wants to see me in a month just to see how things were progressing. He did ask me if the doctors were aware of how swollen my right leg is, and I said yes. He asked me if they had done a Doppler on it to make sure that there were no blood clots, and I said yes. I actually had the Doppler done on it twice, and I just knew that it wasn't that. And they said that the swelling, and really the most of the swelling came from the infection, I'm convinced, because that's when it started, when that infection started in the groin area. So it really was much of a problem for me, and that takes a long time to go away. I'm told by all the doctors and the nurses and anybody else involved in that kind of work not to expect it to go quickly, that it takes a long time. Again, I'm using that inexpensive Voluminous Million Lashes XS from L'Oreal, and again, it's a drugstore product, and I think it does a nice job. I look at my lashes on my left eye versus my right eye. There's a huge difference, I think. So I'm happy that I went. I'm happy that he didn't see anything major. I'm praying that there's nothing else going on with the, with tumor activity or anything. I'm going under the assumption that there's not, that I'm going to be just fine, and that I am going to do well with my first scan. But again, when it comes closer, I'm going to be coming back to you and asking for prayers for that my scan shows absolutely nothing. Again, I said I am grateful for some of the lessons that I've learned through this process, but I would pray to never have to go through this nightmare again, because it's been nothing short of a nightmare. It really has been nothing short of a nightmare. So I want to experience it only once, and then please God be healthy for whatever is left of my life. I have that book to write yet. I have mountains to climb, not literally. I'll be happy to climb stairs where I can take 1 foot on one step. Now I have to do 2 feet on one step. And I forget from time to time, if I'm walking down the curb, I tend to forget it's down with the bad foot. And I occasionally go down with my good foot, and I feel like, ooh, I'm going to buckle on that right leg. It never does, thank God, but it's a little bit scary because that muscle needs more time to really get stronger. This really is looking nice, I think, this mascara. It does take a little more work to get there. Put my hand here, see if you can see it. It definitely gives me the definition that I'm looking for and makes my eyes look just a little bit better. But I think some of the effect that I am getting from this, I love this palette. I really do, that Profusion palette. I am going to be coming to this one often. I know it. I love these colors. I really do. It gives such a great warmth. Look at this. And then if I just blend everything together, just give you that. What I have to do is I'm going to have to do something to do more with my eyebrows. I need to work on them more. I really have not done what I'm supposed to do. I will get to it, hopefully. Let me brush it. I definitely have work to do. And I found my Shiseido razor that I want to just clean up under my brows and in between my brows. So it's not looking as bad. I definitely need to have a little bit of a highlight in the middle. I'm going to take, this is my Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's the thin pencil. And I'm just going to do a little bit of fill-in here. Not much. I don't want too much. I don't want the emphasis to be so much on my brows. definitely need some highlight. Let's see, what's going to be my best highlight? I know. Let me try this. This is the KKW from another kit I had gotten quite a while ago. Let me see how this works as a highlight. I think I can do it. Not my favorite choice, but it works. So I definitely can get away with it. Okay. And I think when going with, I'm going to put just a little bit more color on my cheeks. Maybe because it's a dismal day. So I'll take a little bit more of that. And I do like this highlight. It's a subtle look, but it's really nice. It does give my face a dewy kind of look, which at my age is not always easy to achieve. So yeah, I'm just gonna do my lipstick. And again, I mean, when the doctor spoke to me today, he was not aware of anything major going on. He definitely wants to see me in a month to make sure that there's nothing that that we're not aware of now. And I did make the appointment for after I get my CAT scan done. I want a little more highlight under here. Yeah, because if you do that, it makes the rest of it stand out more. It's the contrast. And we know that the phone always has to, I don't know where it is.
Call from Nissan Westbury.
Okay. So that is essentially the look until I get my lipstick on. So here we go. I'm going to do a more neutral lip because you don't want everything fighting for the same attention. Let's see. I'm getting pains today everywhere. I think it's probably this awful weather. It just doesn't stop, but I really should not complain. Thank goodness it's rain and not snow. So I should be grateful. This tawny is too light. I need something with a little more punch. Let's see. Okay, this is a dark one, but this will do just fine. Okay. And then my old standby, Honey Fizz. God bless the Honey Fizz. To go for a nude lip. And that is it, my friends. So, I'm in love with it, and I cannot wait to start to bring you some of the other videos about some of the other things. And I hope you're enjoying this. If you're finding it too much of the same old, let me know. And I will stop doing it. But I figured I might as well show you how this was done because I was so happy with it yesterday. It's a little bit more intense today, so you can decide how much color to put on for yourself if you choose to go this route. But I like the look a lot. I really do. Tell me what you think. Take care and have a great day. See you soon.